Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany Johnson. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I will be sharing with you guys my second trimester of pregnancy recap, all of my feelings, cravings, how I'm doing, a bump update. I'll show you guys what my bump's looking like right now. I am in my third trimester now, so I'm actually 29 weeks. So the second trimester is from week 13 through week 26. So I will be sharing with you guys how I've been feeling from each of those weeks. I go down every week. I wrote in my notes, just like in my phone, just how I was feeling every week, you know, food cravings, food aversions, if I was sick, or if I was feeling good, exhausted, energized, all of that. So if you're curious to see how my second trimester of pregnancy went for me, then just keep on watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already. I would really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And turn your notifications on so that you're notified every time that I upload. And let's get started. So I did write all of my notes right here. So if I look down at all, that's because I'm just reminding myself of how I felt that week. I obviously took notes on my phone, but if you're like an OG here, you know that I film on my phone, do everything on my phone, so I can't actually look at my notes on my phone while I film, so I had to write them all down. So hope you appreciate that because there's a lot of writing. But yeah, so we're gonna start with week 13. This is the second trimester. So week 13, my belly popped. I will probably insert a picture from my Instagram or something. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely add me on there. I'm super active on there. I'm always posting on my stories and really interactive with all my followers on there. So definitely follow me on there. It's just Brittany Johnson _XOXO. I really appreciate it. And comment down below if you did follow me, and I'll go follow you back for sure. So week 13 was when my belly like really popped. I felt like before it was kind of, I wasn't sure if I was just bloated, if I, you know, ate too much, or if I just, you know, wasn't sucking in that day. Like, I don't know. I just wasn't sure like if it was the bump or what it was. But I felt like week 13 was when I really started to pop, and there was no more like wearing regular jeans, no more wearing regular like type clothes. I had to definitely start implementing like maternity type outfits. So week 13 was when my belly popped. Week 14 was a super exciting week because that was the week that we found out by genetic blood test. We did the Natera blood test, genetic blood testing, to find out the gender of our baby in here, and we found out we are having another girl, so that's super exciting. We were hoping for a boy because we obviously have Hayden, so we wanted to have a girl and a boy, but now that I'm having another girl, I'm like so pumped that I'm a girl mom. Like, obviously, like with our third one, if we have a boy, like we'll be super excited, but like I'm totally cool being a girl mom. Like, I think I'm just meant to be a girl mom, and I'm really excited because I already know what to do because I've already had Hayden. So I'm super excited to have another little princess running around, and you know, Hayden's my like BFF, so like another BFF will be great. Hayden was so excited when she found out she was having a baby sister, so I will insert the clip of the gender reveal, just a short little clip of us finding out that we were having a girl.
8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
excited, but that's what happened on week 14. Along with week 14 is when my appetite started to come back. So in the first trimester, if you haven't watched that video, I'll link it up here. My first trimester recap, I was like super nauseous. I wasn't throwing up a bunch. I probably have thrown up maybe like 6 to 8 times this whole pregnancy. But it was really from me like brushing my teeth, like getting gagged, and like not like it just didn't work. Just did not, my body was not liking it. So I just, you know, would throw up or whatever, but it wasn't like necessarily morning sickness. But I was just really I was really nauseous. So I would wake up and just feel nauseous all day long. No food sounded good. I lost like weight in the beginning, which is a typical thing when people are pregnant. They lose weight in the beginning and then they start to slowly, gradually gain it back and then gain more. So, yeah, so I was just like really nauseous the first trimester, like every single day pretty much. And then around week 14 was when my appetite started to come back, which, you know, I took for granted, me not being hungry, because appetite came back, and it came back with a vengeance. I wanted to snack all day long. It was crazy. I would eat something and then I would still not be full and want to snack some more. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like so annoying, because I was just used to not eating a bunch because of being nauseous, and then full force appetite came back week 14 for me. But a good thing for week 15 and 16, I'm just combining these because that's what I wrote in my notes, but was that my cravings changed from, in the first trimester, my cravings were like, if I wanted to eat, it was McDonald's breakfast, like greasy food. It was, I could go to the drive-thru and like get Taco Bell or McDonald's McGriddles. Like, I was all about the greasy foods. And now when I think of fast food, it's like, oh, it makes me want to like throw up because I ate so much of it in my first trimester. I would eat like breakfast and like that's pretty much it, but it was like all greasy food. It was just not good. But so in week 15 and 16, my cravings changed from greasy, unhealthy food to like fresh veggies and fruit. Like, I was like craving more veggies than fruit for sure. I've been craving fruit way more now in these last couple weeks, like so much, and you'll see that in my third trimester recap. Or if you watch any of my vlogs, you know that I am constantly making fruit, buying fruit, because I'm like, so good. But yeah, fresh veggies was like my favorite, like broccoli, carrots, celery, dipped in ranch. Like, oh, I just wanted all the veggies. Salads, I would go to Subway and get a salad all the time, which did not sound good whatsoever in the first trimester, but for some reason it just changed, which I'm glad, because like the thought of greasy food right now is like, whoa. Also in week 15 and 16, I was just like super exhausted still, so I didn't really have much energy like in my body at all. Like, I was just still exhausted. You know, I'd wake up, feel nauseous. I wasn't feeling nauseous as much in these couple weeks, but I was still exhausted. So that was just kind of like, I mean, that's just what happens with pregnancy. You're pretty much exhausted the whole time. And then I wrote down in week 17 that my energy finally came back. I was feeling a lot more energized. I would wake up and actually like get stuff done. You know, do the laundry, do dishes. Like, I just remember like first trimester, I felt so bad because our house was just a complete wreck. John really stepped it up and helped me with that stuff, because in our house, it's just pretty much like, I mean, I'm like, you know, it's the typical household where I do the cleaning, he does the house, or like the outside work, but he's also doing like a ton of the construction in our house. If you're new to our channel, we are doing like a huge like renovation in our house. I can leave that whole like playlist right here. But so basically he goes to work, does construction, then comes home and then does construction all night. So I'm pretty much in charge of keeping the house like swept, mopped, dishes done, dinner cooked type of thing. But I was so exhausted, I had no energy to do any type of cleaning, so he really stepped it up and helped me out during that time. But also in week 17, I was like, I finally had like the best sleep ever. I bought the pregnancy pillow. I'll have it linked below. But I used it for like a week, and I bought it like maybe at week 11 or 10 or 11 just because I wanted it. And it just was I think it was just so big that it just wasn't comfortable for me, and like turning on my sides, it was just, I'm such a side sleeper that it was just driving me nuts. It was just too bulky, and I just could not fall asleep, and I could not like sleep good with it. But I finally, in week 17, I don't know what it was, but I like had it up against my body, you know, like formed against my body, pillow under the head. And then I would sleep on my back, and I literally, for like the whole week of like week 17, I would sleep the entire night, all night long, not wake up one time, and I would like fall asleep and wake up in the exact same position. It was so odd. It's so weird how good your body feels and like how refreshed you feel when you wake up after you've actually had a good sleep. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, my mind was blown. I was like, this is what good sleep feels like. What the heck? So, not that I've had like super bad sleep beforehand. I definitely don't like deal with like insomnia or just like waking up a ton, but like I had never slept for like 8 hours straight without waking up, without tossing and turning or anything like that in a long time. So it felt great. And I was sleeping on my back, like just on my back, pillow up against me, and it was great. That was week 17. In week 18, I actually woke up really nauseous. I had that noted down. It was really weird because I obviously wasn't nauseous since the first trimester, and then randomly in week 18, I woke up in the morning and I felt super nauseous. I even threw up, which was like super weird, and I had like food aversion the whole day. Like, nothing sounded good. Everything made me like want to like throw up. It was just so odd, but that's how week 18 went for me. It was just so different. I feel like it was just so random that in one random week in the second trimester that I was just like super nauseous out of nowhere. Also in week 18, I started to get heartburn, which I had with Hayden also, so I was like expecting it since I already knew I was having a girl, so I was like, I'm probably going to be getting heartburn. So I was starting to get heartburn like sporadically, so I was taking Tums, but only like a couple times, not a ton. I definitely get heartburn a lot more now, but that'll come with the third trimester recap. But yeah, so heartburn was starting to come in, and I've never had heartburn before unless I'm pregnant, so I know it's not like anything with me. It's just pregnancy heartburn. It's just a common thing that happens. But I also started to feel her move, which was super exciting. Like, if you're a mom, if you've ever been pregnant before, you know the feeling of your baby moving is like so surreal. It's the best feeling ever, in my opinion at least. So she started moving, and it was typically only like at nighttime was when I was feeling her. So when I was like laying on my back about to go to sleep, and you know, you would just like start to feel those little butterfly kicks, and they were just so sweet. I loved them, and I was like, couldn't wait to feel her again the next time she would move. In week 19 and 20 was when I just started feeling really tired again. I was just really exhausted. I would wake up, feel fine, but then like when midday hit through the rest of the night, I was just so exhausted. I was burnt out. You know, it's like not like I was doing a bunch during the day to like wear myself out. So it was just like my body just like being like, which typically in the second trimester, you feel a lot more energized. So it was just really like annoying, but I felt more energized than I did in the first trimester, but it was still like, I should be feeling energized at this point. Like, that's how typically second trimester goes. It's typically like the best trimester because you feel more energized again. And I have noted in here that week 21 and 22 that she was just moving so much. There's not a lot of changes, I guess, in the second trimester with like how I was feeling or cravings, but in week 21 and 22 she was just moving so much, and it was awesome. And Hayden was able to actually feel her move. John has felt her, I think, one time, or maybe saw her move one time, but that's pretty much it. Every time I'm like, hurry babe, touch, and like, you know, they always stop moving when you push your like husband's hand or anyone's hand on your belly to feel. I feel like they just know, and they're like, oh, time to stay still, time to not move at all. I love that feeling. Like, she's kicking me right now, and it's awesome. Week 22, I have noted down here that I was just, again, feeling nauseous randomly. Like, it wasn't just in the morning, it was just randomly throughout the day. I remember me and John were driving somewhere, and all of a sudden I just felt so nauseous, and I was like, ugh, and I felt like I needed to throw up. I wasn't throwing up at all during these times, but I was definitely nauseous, and it would just come and go random times, so that was really odd, but I just have that noted down. I also, week 22, I was like, week 22, 23, I was like bathing every single night. I wanted to take like a long, hot bath. That's just what felt good to me, what like I was like craving. That was like my craving for those weeks. If you don't know, I have like a really big soak tub, so that's been like a pregnant mama's dream right now. So I mean, bubble baths every single night, that's what I was doing. I haven't taken a bath in there. I took one last week with Hayden, but I haven't really been doing them much now, but those 2 weeks I was like obsessed with them, and they just like felt good on my body, and it really like made me rest better, like relax. I would take one at night and then get in bed, and then I'd be good to go and fall asleep, and it was good. Week 24 was kind of like an odd week for me. So basically I started like having like not good sleep whatsoever. I was starting to have like backaches and like pelvis like pressure. So I remember me and John went, I think we were going like Christmas shopping for Hayden, and we were walking around the mall, and all of a sudden I had like this really sharp pain. I'm pointing to like my hips right now, but a really sharp pain on my right side, and I was just like, what the heck? And so I went to the bathroom because I was like, maybe I just need to like pee, because you know sometimes if you're walking around and you have like a bunch of pee in your belly, you're just like, okay, you need to like go pee and it'll relieve like pressure. Went pee, didn't do anything. We kept walking around for like another half hour, and it was still like a sharp pain, and I was like, what the heck? And then we got some food, and then it just kind of like went away after like maybe a good 45 minutes. So that was really odd. Luckily I had a doctor's appointment the next day, and I shared that with my doctor, and since it went away and since I haven't had an issue since then, she wasn't really, you know, worried about it, so we're good there. But it was definitely odd. I mean, John was definitely worried because he was obviously just like, you better not be in pain, like make sure you tell your doctor and all that stuff. He was super worried, which was really cute, but everything was okay, and I haven't had any like pain since then. I think it was just kind of like just what happens, pregnancy pain, you know, you're just when you're walking around. I think it was just the pressure of my belly and just all that, and it wasn't anything serious, thank goodness. Week 25, oh my goodness, I don't know if anyone else deals with this like at week 25, but I had a crazy amount of like shortness of breath when I would lay down. So I would not feel like shortness of breath at all during the day or anything, but when I went to lay down, even when I was like on my phone laying down, when I put my phone down to like go to sleep and I was laying down, I was so short of breath. It was crazy. I felt like I was like breathing so deeply and I could not catch my breath, and then I would feel my heart start to race, and I was like, what is happening? I almost felt like I was having not a heart attack, but just like a panic attack, because I was just like, I could not catch my breath. And so I was like, I looked up on the internet on my phone just to be like, what can help this or what is happening? It's pretty common during the week 25. Actually on my app it was like, week 25, this is when you have shortness of breath, and I was like, that is crazy. So they said if possible, sleep on your left side, put your arm up. So like I was, you know, sleeping like this, and like putting my arms up helped some, but like I was just so short of breath, it was like insane. And I haven't dealt with it in the last week, but pretty much since week 25, I've been pretty short of breath when I'm laying down flat, so I have to make sure I'm laying in a certain way. But the last week or so, it hasn't been an issue, so that's good. But I've heard it's just really common around those weeks up until the pregnancy, or up until the labor. So we'll just see if it comes back again. I'm sure it will, because I'm only growing bigger and bigger, and obviously your lungs are like, don't have enough space, you know, as the baby grows. So that was like one thing that really was like a big deal in week 25. And then lastly, in week 26, I pretty much just was having lower back pain. So I would stand up after like sleeping, I would wake up, and my lower back on my right side, right above like my butt, was hurting so bad. And I mean, I don't know if it was sciatica, like I didn't really look up too much on it because it would kind of go away throughout the day. But after I was sitting for a while and would stand up, I really had to stand up really slowly because it was really aching and just was like super uncomfortable. So I haven't noticed it lately. I've been doing pretty good, but before it was just like, it was so sore. And like, yeah, every time I would stand up after sitting for a while, I would have to get up really slowly, or else it would really hurt. Like, you know, I feel like when you're pregnant and you're getting closer to your 3rd trimester, you never want to get up quickly because you could like really pull a muscle, like in your hip and stuff, like, or in your pelvis area. I feel like you're very careful because you can easily pull like a tendon. Your muscles are like loosening because they're like expanding, so your body's getting ready for labor. So they're already like more loose than what they are typically. So getting up and moving is like you have to do it very slow and very carefully nowadays, is how I feel about it. So, but yeah, I was having really bad lower back pain, but I'm doing pretty good now. I'm feeling actually pretty great. You know, typically by the end of the day, I'm like exhausted, ready to go lay in bed. If I'm having to stand for a long time or go walk around for a long time, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to take a nap. But yeah, so that is basically everything for my second trimester recap. I definitely forgot to show you the bump, so let me scoot this back and show you what the bump is looking like currently. Let me undo this. So this is what the bump is looking like. You can see here. So I am currently 29 weeks, so you know, I'm 2 weeks past the second trimester, but this is what the belly is looking like. I feel like I've definitely grown a little bit in the last 2 weeks too, so it's probably a little bit smaller. But yeah, I just have like a pair of yoga pants on right now, so this is what the bump is looking like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely stay tuned for my third trimester recap. We are actually working on Hayden's bedroom right now. We're painting it tonight. And then we will be working on baby girl's nursery next. So, you know, a nursery room tour will be coming. What we get at our baby shower will be coming. What, you know, baby haul stuff that we get. All sorts of baby videos will be coming soon. So I'm really excited to be sharing those with you. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.